welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced by Web, bringing you another community battle matchup. This one was sent in quite some time ago, and it is part of the Swabwit tournament that was happening in Advanced Wars not that long ago. Now, we're playing on a map called I Bought It From a Rubber Man in a Town for Rubber Plants. Very unusual name, but most maps in Advanced Wars by Web have very unusual names. So what can you do, folks? What can you do? Nothing. But we can take a look at the map. Today we're playing on a 3-base map with one airport by the looks of it, one port. Looks like it's mainly going to be used for transportation purposes, if anything at all. But we do have a port there for sure. Tons and tons of shoals. Not a lot of defense on shoals, folks. As you know, it is zero defense terrain. But we do have some formidable defenses near the middle. Lots of contestable properties in the middle as well. And like I said, triple base. Triple base. So we're going to see lots of units on this one. Now, today we do have a Kindle mirror. Now, as we know, Kindle is the top dog at tier 3 for sure. Now, she gets a terrain bonus whenever she's on cities, equaling 140% firepower, and her urban blight will do 3 HP of damage to anything sitting on a city. Any opposing player or unit sitting on a city, that is, and also increase her firepower to, I believe, 180%, and the super co-power will bring that to a whopping 130%, I believe, whenever on a city. In addition, 3% firepower per city owned. So, in certain cases, that can be some deadly stuff, folks. Deadly stuff. That's why Kindle is feared. It's not just urban blight. Sometimes it's high society. Now, without further ado, we're going to kind of just go ahead and get into this, but we do have the players here. We have Lionheart 2005 playing as Cobalt Ice, and we have Cannon Fodder 449 playing as Pink Cosmos. So both of these players are fairly highly rated. Now, they're also very active in the live queue, so if you play live queue, more than likely you've come across them or at least seen one of their games at some point. So, without further ado, let's go ahead, take a look at the game, see what happens here. Hopefully you all enjoy, folks. I'll see you there. Alrighty, so we got Cannon Fodder as player 1. With the lack of infantry there. No first turn advantage for Cannon Fodder there. Lionheart coming in as player 2, building the standard infantry builds. 100% you got to get the infantry on the field, folks. Number 1 priority in any Advanced Wars game. Now, we're up to day 2 here. It looks like Lionheart's going in, doing a couple cabs. Both players are going towards the center, by the looks of it here. Now, Lionheart, or Cannon Fodder, by the looks of it here, might actually go for the comm tower, or could possibly also go for this property here. At this point, it's probably more worthwhile to go for the property. But placing the infantry there gives the illusion that you might go for the comm tower, so I can see why they might do that for sure. Alright, Lionheart sending the infantry up. Absolutely. 100%. Now, the interesting thing about this map here is the strong front here is actually kind of difficult to reinforce. We do have a forest right here prohibiting some movement. Not very drastic in the long run, but the southern base right here, we have several forests blocking our movement here. So it is going to be a little bit difficult to get some units in. Not impossible, it's a little difficult, that's all. So it's really, really important, I believe, from the HQ side to definitely get a good, strong foothold right here. These shoals are actually a really good spot to kind of hold your enemy on by the looks of it here, especially with the use of the city here. Very strong terrain bonus right there, 140% firepower if we do manage to hold something there, and 0 terrain stars for attacking. So I think that's what we want to do for sure. All right. Lionheart moving in, more standard infantry builds. No vehicles yet. Day 5. No vehicles from either player yet. Let's see if we get a vehicle this turn. Oh, we do got a tank here from Cannon Fodder. Tank built on their strong front. So this one is going to be able to reinforce this area really, really quick. So I don't think we are actually going to be able to get that for sure. But we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. It looks like Lionheart is actually moving in with an infantry and attempting to cap this city right here. We're going to see if that works or not. But I believe it's actually a fairly smart move. Now, if we do manage to take this city right here, it's going to give us a lot of advantage, a lot of pressure here. Now it looks like Lionheart has built a tank here too, so we are going to be seeing some pressure, some combat, hopefully, popping in on the western front. So we're going to see what happens with that. Do start a bunch of caps, finish off a few caps as well. And we build more infantry because we don't really have too much funds for anything else at the moment. But we do got the tank out here right now, which is very nice. Putting a lot of pressure right here. It's going to make it so Lionheart can not really push out too far. He will be able to push up onto this city by the looks of it here. He is going to get the cap here. And it looks like we're going to actually get 5 other caps this turn as well. So that's going to bring our total income coming in to 1,400. Ooh, 1,400. That's actually pretty good. So 1,400 funds on triple base. That means that you're able to buy a tank, an artillery, and an infantry every single turn, possibly. Or you can sort of spread out your buys a little bit and possibly tech up fairly early as well. Alright, nobody has actually capped the airport in the corner either, so neither player has really determined that that is of importance yet. So we're going to see what happens here. It looks like Cannon Fodder is actually moving up closer, blocking the comm tower right now. So the comm tower is going to be pretty effective for Kindle. It's going to raise that maximum hit from 140 to 150%, which is going to maximize some KO potential for sure. Now, comm towers, they're not necessarily the be-all end-all when it comes to combat and advanced versus bioweb. They're definitely really important to have, but not necessary in the long run. Depends on what you do with the rest of your units. You can forego a couple comm towers and get more income. So that's a possibility. But in the long run, you do want to have equal firepower to your opponent or more firepower. Because it looks like here, if Cannon Fodder is actually able to cap this, all their units are going to have a 120% firepower in addition to the 160% firepower on a city. So it can get pretty dicey if left unchecked, that's for sure. Alright. So it looks like we are pushing into the mid here. Cannon Fodder now 5 tanks on the field. We do have a comm tower cap. We're beginning cap on some of the contested cities in the middle. Definitely going for the airport back in the corner. And like I said, 5 tanks on the field right now. It's looking pretty impressive. And this tank is actually completely safe. There's going to be no possibility of striking that tank here, nor would you really want to with the base rate here. That tank is going to be able to come in and take out anything that goes in and hits this one anyways. But very nice formation here from Cannon Fodder. Alright, let's see what Lionheart decides to do. Okay, Lionheart going for that comm tower now. We are beginning the cap, and we are sitting pretty on a city over here. This is very nice. This is what you want to do as Kindle. You want to get your big units on those cities. Hold them. Keep them close to your heart. That's what we need to do. High society, folks. High society. Alright, Cannon Fodder going in, grabbing the airport. A bunch of other units are moving in. Tanks are moving in. We interrupt the cap on the comm tower. That unit is taken out. Blocked very nicely also by this additional tank. And a lot of restraint here from Cannon Fodder, actually not going in for the attack on this infantry. Fairly smart move in my opinion. This attack would not really work out too well in their favor. I believe that the trade would probably actually end up being in a negative for them. So, lots of restraint, building that wall. There is a little bit of potential to KO this infantry here, but there is not much other reinforcement at the moment. So we're going to see what happens with that. Alrighty, so Lionheart 2005 coming up here, day 9. And things are starting to look pretty dicey. It does look like Cannon Fodder did forego one of their properties. So Lionheart is going to be able to take that, but that basically just means the funds are even at this point. So there's no discrepancy when it comes to the funds. 1919 at the moment. Still a couple properties up for grabs on the map. Airports are definitely still going to be capped. And we still have one property right here. So yeah, we still have potential to see some some discrepancies with funds here. So we're going to see what happens. Alright, Lionheart coming in with the classy medium tank build. Now this is probably a very important build at this point. We are getting overrun with a lot of tanks here. Now, if Cannon Fodder decides to push in here, it is going to be attacking to 140% firepower units right here. So while there is possibility to do some damage here, the counterattack would be massive. And also this medium tank rolling up here. Won't be able to hit anything directly, but next turn, 2 days, it'll be able to start hitting stuff up there. So let's see what Cannon Fodder decides to do. Getting another city, bringing total income up to 20,000, is going to actually go in and take out one of the tanks. So very nice hit. Very safe from this medium tank as well. Now the question is are we going to go and attack another tank here? That is a big question. I don't know if attacking another tank is super worth it, but it looks like we go for the attack. 6-7 trade, not the greatest trade, but not too bad. Considering that we have tank superiority here on this side, taking that trade is not necessarily a bad move for sure. It does weaken this side severely. And unless Lionheart wants to give up this city, he is going to have to use one of those tanks in order to interrupt, seeing as none of the infantry are actually close enough to do so. Using the 6 HP tank would probably be the best bet right here, but we're going to see what he does. Alright, we got a recon build on day 10 from Cannon Fodder. Nice, we got the Freaky Reekies on day 10. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this build right here, but the recon from Kindle, in a Kindle mirror, I believe that its main purpose is going to be to first strike the infantry that are on the city so that other infantry can come in and take the KO hit. Taking a shot from an infantry onto another infantry, especially when it's on a city's Kindle, not going to work out too well for you. But taking it from a recon, the only thing that's going to happen is maybe you'll take 1 damage and counter. So, not too bad of a move. Okay, we're going to see if it pays off in the long run. Lionheart going in, attempting to grab one of the comm towers right now. Taking a nice shot on one of the tanks. Attempting to grab the middle property as well. So very nice. We do need that middle property in order to continue to keep the pressure on funds-wise. Especially since we're going to be losing this property here. Alright, Cannon Fodder moving down. Got the infantry coming in. Medium tanks coming in. Classy as all heck. Interrupting the comm tower with the recon. So that's what I was saying. That's most likely what a recon's purpose is when it comes to Kindle. We got to interrupt those infantry on the cities with the recons. Now we got a tank that doesn't move at all. Probably a smart move. You don't want to be giving up that city for sure. Medium tank is moving in. Did we move it into range of this medium tank? No, we did not. That is a free shot. Very nice. And we managed to interrupt the cap in the middle. That infantry has been annihilated. It is gone. We do not have to see it anymore. Now, one of the fairly intimidating things that is going to be happening now is we do have Urban Blight. And it looks like Lionheart pops the Urban Blight. Very nice. Battlecopter got hit up here too, which is huge. Now, when you look at the map right now, the amount of funds this is going to drain is it's 20% of every single unit that's on a city here as well. It's one thing that people don't really realize sometimes when it comes to Kindle is Urban Blight, it's going to do damage to everything on a city. But in addition, you're also going to be draining a lot of funds from your opponent. That can really affect builds on their next turn. So if you manage to like tech up that turn, get something really big out on the field, say like a medium tank, neo tank, anything like that, right? Your opponent might not be able to counter right away because they're going to be lacking in the funds. So, very interesting move for sure. Now, let's see if it pays off. Alright, we got a infantry taken out. We got a big hit on another infantry. Are we going to continue the cap on the comm tower by the looks of it? Yes, we are. Okay, this comm tower is now sitting at 6 by the looks of it here. And we do have a lot of presence on the map here. We got a nice little line forming here. Not many units are actually sitting on cities either, so the opposing Urban Blight is not really going to be doing too much damage, but it really depends on what we decide to build this turn. 22,000 funds in the bank. Let's see what we managed to pull out. Alright, tank battlecopter double infantry. Not a bad build. We save a little bit of money here. We save like 4k in the bank. Most likely that's going to be for repairs. But now we have cannon fodder here. Cannon fodder, like I said, that fund drain was huge. We're only sitting at 8,800 funds for this turn. We're not going to be able to build too much. Most likely we're just going to be seeing a couple infantry here. We might be able to see an artillery and double infantry. But that's about it. Let's see what this urban blight manages to do here. Now, sadly, we're not able to hit the medium tank. The medium tank would be a huge hit with the urban blight, but unfortunately, we're just a couple squares away from any sort of city tile here. Also, interesting thing to note is the missile silos right here do not actually count as cities, although you do get the city bonus when attacking on them. So, interesting thing to note. Alright, retreating with a couple units and taking a couple shots here. Very nice. Medium tank moving in really far, taking a shot on this guy right here. That is a little bit of a risky play here. Not 100% feeling that shot. It doesn't look like we're actually going to be able to follow it up with anything either. This guy's not going to be able to come in here and finish this off. So that's a pretty huge hit that could happen next turn here, but we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. Oh, we are actually threatening an HQ cap here right now, too. We got an infantry only 2 squares away from the HQ. Very, very deadly stuff. We got to be watching out for that. We actually just only build an anti-air unit this turn, too. We don't build any other units. So doubles base skip for the anti-air. We don't really have enough funds for anything else, too. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes a base skip is justified when it means that you can get a unit that's actually going to be effective against your opponent as well. Now, building 3 infantry when your opponent has a battlecopter coming at you, it's not really going to do too much, right? But building an anti-air and nothing else, well, you know at least the anti-air is going to be able to counter that battlecopter that's coming. So the only thing that infantry would be able to do is to wall off something. So we're going to see what happens here. There's not really much of a difference when it comes to the unit count at the moment either. We are sitting at 26-26, so there's not really too much of a discrepancy there. Oh, but we do get a big hit on the medium tank here. And maybe we don't actually get the firepower bonus. I'll have to double check on that. I'll put it right here, actually, to see if we do get that or not. But anyways, so big hit for sure. But still, like a 5-8 trade for a medium tank is not a bad trade. Alright, it looks like we are going to be attempting to recap, or attempting to cap one of these comm towers, which is very good because cannon fodder is sitting at a 120% firepower bonus with the double comm towers at the moment for all their units. So it is putting them at a huge advantage. Big enough advantage that they decide to attack the medium tank with the medium tank, doing quite a bit of damage. So at this point, it might be more justified to attack it. I mean, the medium tank is probably... It's not like super effective at the moment, so we did manage to do that. We attacked it, and we form a little death ball here with an artillery in the middle. This is the dream team right here. That is exactly what you want to be doing with your artillery. Forming that death ball, making sure the artillery is not going to be able to get hit by anything, and having all your areas covered here. So that's very nice. And actually, with the additional attack from this tank onto this medium tank, we now have 3-3. So that medium tank is basically taken out of the battle at this point. So that's very nice. It looks like we got a battlecopter coming in from the weak side over here from cannon fodder as well. So it looks like we are sitting at 100,000 value right now to 79,900. So that is a huge difference right now. But we're going to see what happens here because, like I said, cannon fodder, player number 1, they are going to be ahead on their turn. So will Lionheart be able to close the gap? I don't know, but they do manage to take out a infantry that was on a city, so that's very, very nice. Forming a nice little wall in the center here, using the mountain as cover as well. Very smart play. We got an anti-air coming in. We definitely got that for the counter for the battlecopter. 100% justified, 100% needed at this moment. Other infantry are moving in. We got an infantry build. We got another medium tank build. This is getting classy, folks. We are getting classy up in here. And it looks like we're actually going to try to go and repair this medium tank too. Now, judging by the state of the board here, it's getting a little bit dicey here. I feel like maybe Lionheart might have a slight advantage here when it comes to positioning. These guys could move in and do some attacks here. Not 100% sure. I think maybe at this point what we might need to do is we might need to just full send all these guys over here and move these guys down here as well. Hit it with a little pincer attack and we might be able to recover after that point. Who knows though, man? Who knows? We're gonna see what happens. Oh, we actually do go in for the little pincer attack here, and it looks like we stop a couple of the caps, at least one of the caps right there. Urban Blight, beautiful Urban Blight actually. That manages to take this medium tank down to 0.1 HP. So no matter what happens, anything that hits that will actually finish it off. Looks like we're going in for the cap here too, and we are so close to the HQ. It's getting spooky, folks. Getting super spooky. Unfortunately, it looks like the artillery is in range of the battlecopter. Not sure if we're going to go in and take that shot or not. Considering the state over here, though, I think a sacrifice for the battlecopter to actually heavily injure this would be good, considering we have a medium tank here. The only counter right now to the medium tank would be the artillery. So I think this move right here, moving in here, taking the shot from the city might be the play. But we're going to see, because we do get an Urban Blight here. So we interrupt the cap on the city. We're not actually really going to have to worry about interrupting that cap now, which is very nice. And yeah, we do take the shot here, and I believe that that actually gets the firepower bonus. So very nice. Very strong attack for sure. Managed to take out of that pesky a little artillery, no problem here. Yeah, so I think maybe one of the things here is if we actually did maybe full send over here, instead of pushing some of these guys down here by the HQ, it might have worked out a little better for cannon fodder at that moment. Considering that we're fighting on two fronts and we have a big force right here, maybe moving over here would have been the play. I'm not sure. It's not really over for cannon fodder yet, though. He is still in the game. He goes back. We did manage to get a big shot, taking out that battlecopter, interrupting the cap, sitting pretty on a city as Kindle right there in the center, also taking a shot at that infantry. Now, most of these other guys here, we do sort of pull back a little bit. Now, unfortunately, it does look like this is sort of a weakness right here. We would be able to move in and sit pretty on that city, take out that anti-air, no problem. However, we do have the threat from the medium tank coming in here, so I don't know. We're going to see what happens here, folks. We got another recon on the field, though, from cannon fodder, so that's very nice. Lionheart definitely moving in a lot with the tanks, so we're sitting at 9 tanks from Lionheart, and we are sitting at 9 tanks from cannon fodder. So we are still even in the tank game. Some of them might be injured, but they're still there, folks. They're still there. Now, when you're dealing with 140% firepower as well, injured units are not super bad. You know, you can still get those shots in if you manage to get the terrain right. Now, we're full sending with that anti-air unit, definitely sacrificing it to eliminate the battlecopter. Fairly smart play in my mind. I feel like that's a fairly good trade. Another battlecopter wouldn't be able to come into the mid here for another like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 days, right? So being able to take out that battlecopter, huge. Anti-air, not like super effective against tanks, right? So if you can use it, take out the battlecopters, you're good to go. Got an Urban Blight here from cannon fodder, doing that 3 damage global to all the units on the city, so very nice. Definitely taking that unit value down. Got another battlecopter on the field. I feel like the battlecopter might not be the best play at the moment. Perhaps it is, I'm not sure. But considering the state of the map here, we got a bunch of tanks that are moving in here. I feel like maybe another tank or some other heavy units coming in from either here or right here probably be a little bit more effective in the short term. Maybe the battlecopter might be more effective in the long run, though, for sure. Alright, Lionheart takes a couple good shots here. We do some damage in the middle, but not overextending for sure. Now, I'm not 100% sure what the plan is here, but the comm tower, it looks like we are a day away from capping it, so An interrupt on the comm tower is not necessary at the moment for sure. But if we don't destroy it by the next turn, it is going to cap that for sure. Now Lionheart, it looks like he's banking a Urban Blight here. So that is in the works. It's going to be probably hitting next turn. Unless we're saving for a high society. I don't know. It is possible. Now with 2,100 funds, we are looking at, I believe, 63? Something like that. I don't know. Math is hard, folks. Math is hard. But we're looking at a well over 60% firepower bonus if we do actually go with the Urban Blight. Or high society, that is. Alright. Oh, and we might actually be going... No, we're going for the Urban Blight. Yep, no problem whatsoever. Alright, so we take that infantry down there to 6 HP. It looks like we actually or we didn't even bother going for the cap on this one here. Now, it is possible that it would be interrupted really easily, right? So, looks like we didn't go for it, though. Now, yeah, we do manage to get a big hit here. Take out that one. Get a huge hit on the medium tank there. Unfortunately, not enough to 100% take it out, but we do take it down to 1. Medium tank is essentially useless at this point. And we get a huge one-shot here from this tank onto this tank here. So very, very nice. Another medium tank. Super classy. That's stuff we like to see. Recon, actually, from Lionheart as well. Forgot to mention that. So we do have a couple recons in the fray here. Oh, and cannon fodder moving in super heavy here, taking out a couple shots here. Medium tank's in a very good position right now. Nothing is going to be able to hit that medium tank. Maybe the battlecopter might move in and take a shot. If the battlecopter moves in, it is going to be countered by the anti-air, so it's a little bit risky to do that for sure. Let's see what Lionheart decides to do now, because I think that this game is getting into end game here pretty soon, folks. We're still sitting at 21-21 for funds. Now, however, no, the unit count is actually still pretty similar, folks. Lionheart does have a slight lead, but not a huge lead. Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe that firepower bonus doesn't count. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out. All right. Whew, this is huge actually right now too. So we just eliminated pretty much the entire front line here. And it is possible that the anti-air is going to get hit here, but even an injured anti-air is going to be really effective against a battlecopter. But we do a big hit over here too, and we take out a lot of units over here, and we have this push coming in right now. So cannon fodder not in a very good position at the moment. Does have 2,100 funds to work with here, or 21,000 funds to work with, but I can't really see too much happening over here. We would be able to take out the medium tank with our medium tank, but with the threat of this medium tank here, I'm not feeling too hot about it. But let's see the Urban Blight. Let's see what we managed to do. Actually, just replay that here. So Lionheart sitting at 100,007, gets taken down to 98,000. So we just did a little, like around 10,000 damage, so not too bad. Risky hit here with the medium tank too, because it's very likely that medium tank would have been taken out with counterattack, but did not happen, so we are sitting pretty for sure. Alright, looks like we are still threatening the cap on that HQ. We still want to put pressure over there. Not many units are down here in this area. Most are in the middle, so if we do manage to clean up these units with these guys right here, the HQ is open for business. So, very likely that we would actually get an HQ cap at that point. Another medium tank here from Cannon Fodder as well. He's an insanely classy boy. Classy fella. Unfortunately, it did get hit by a little Urban Blight there. So we did take some hits there for sure. Now it looks... Ooh. Doing the cap on 2 cities here from Cannon Fodder with absolutely no way of interrupting both of them at the same time. Very risky too, because if we interrupt one, build a unit, we can surround the HQ now. So kind of risky for sure. Day 20 moving in. Let's see what Cannon Fodder decides to do. Are we going to attempt to put some of these units over in the middle, or are we just going to try to full send rush the HQ at this point? Now, with the tank here and no other reinforcements, I don't see an HQ cap being possible here. Medium tank moves in, interrupts that cap. So we are going to be able to steal this cap right here. No other caps. Interrupt the southern cap from cannon fodder. Lionheart going in like a fierce warrior. Fierce lion. Taking out lots of units here. Pulling back. There's no sense in fighting the medium tank here when you got no reinforcements. Coming in with a medium tank, doing a base skip. Got to get that medium tank on the field, folks. Classy as all heck. And that is the resign here from cannon fodder. What a match. A little bit of back and forth there. But overall, it does look like Lionheart is the winner here today. Cannon fodder put up a heck of a battle. Definitely got a lot of combat in there for sure. Now let's open up the stats and just take a look here. Alright, so we got 4 co-powers used from both units. Looks like we both units actually look like, or both COs built around 55 units. It does look like cannon fodder lost 41, while Lionheart only lost 32. So fantastic battle from both players, very enjoyable to watch. Well fought on both sides here. So hopefully you all enjoyed that battle today. If you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribing. There's going to be more replays in the future, and if you actually have a replay you would like me to go over on the channel, you can send me a link on Advanced Wars by Web. My username is Mr. Cannon, which is MR_CANNON. Send it to me there, or you can join my Discord below. Link is located in the description. Join the Discord, you can send me the link there as well. Very, very nice. So, hopefully you all enjoyed. Once again, Semi-Original Guy out. Take care, folks. Bye-bye for now.